I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Steuben County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. The first item on our agenda this morning is Mr. Steuben County from the Northeastern. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Thank you. My pleasure to be here this morning. I'm Steve Howell. I'm the director of Northeastern Center. We are the community mental health center for Noble LaGrange, Steuben, and DeKalb counties. A few weeks ago, you should have received an annual report for Steuben County from Northeastern Center. I do have a couple of extra copies if anyone needs that. Wonderful. Okay. I thought if it made sense to you, I would just go through some highlights of the report and what we're doing at Northeastern Center and see any questions, anything that I can address. So as I mentioned, Northeastern Center is the community mental health center for the 4-county area. We have been in existence almost 50 years. We started as part of another mental health center, Oaklawn, which is still in existence today in Elkhart, St. Joe County. Northeastern Center is one of 24 community mental health centers in the state of Indiana. Our business is primarily mental health, behavioral health, addiction treatment. We do some prevention, some community events, but our focus is on the treatment aspect of that. When it comes to addiction or substance use disorders, the primary issues we see are around cannabis use, alcohol dependence, stimulants. On the mental health side, we see a lot of anxiety, depression, trauma, situational things that really run the gamut. Some of those are situational, whether it's an extended grief situation all the way to severe mental illness like schizophrenia, those type of things. We provide a variety of services. We do therapy, counseling, medication. We have 4 psychiatrists and 3 advanced practice nurses who prescribe medicine. We have about 231 employees at last count in the 4-county areas. We do case management. We do skill building. We have about 12 facilities around the 4-county area, and we do a lot of community-based services as well. A couple of new services I wanted to mention are newer services. One is a transportation service that we call NEC Connect. We got a grant from the state of Indiana to provide transportation to people who are justice involved. So the only stipulation is they need to be involved in the justice system. So people are in probation, drug court, that kind of thing. So we started that in August of 2022. I was a little bit concerned because in the first year, we needed to achieve 800 rides. We provided 978 rides in the first year. It got refunded for a second year. We provided 5,225 rides the second year. We're into the third year now, and we're on target to provide about 4,700 rides this year. So very proud of the partnership with the state, really meeting community need. It's provided at no cost to the participants. So that's one program I'm very excited about, very proud that Northeastern Center can be part of. The other one is a program we call NEC Cares, and this is a 23-hour crisis receiving and stabilization service. It's physically located in Auburn, but along with that, we do a mobile crisis team. So the way behavioral health is moving is towards a couple of things. One is quick access for people. We want people to be able to get help quickly. We're trying to remove administrative burdens. We have a hospital, as I mentioned. We have outpatient services. We have residential services. But we found over the years that there's still some folks that fall into the cracks. They don't need to be in the hospital, but they need more than outpatient. So our NEC Cares unit is trying to meet that need. People can come in, they're in a behavioral health crisis. They stay for up to 23 hours. We get them what they need. That could be a shower, it could be clean clothes, it could be something to eat. Most of the folks have been in mental health services before, so we try to engage them so that they can get re-engaged in services and get off the streets, stay out of the jails, stay out of the emergency department. We started that program in December of 2023. We went 24/7 in February of 24, so coming up on a year. We had 247 admissions in a 6-month period, and over the last 4 months, looking at July through October, we've had 151 people that have been part of that program. So if you extrapolate that, it comes to about 450. So again, we're meeting a pretty important community need, and I won't say most importantly, but very important is the money that is saving. So Blue and Company out of Indianapolis did a preliminary study based on 6-month data from around the state. And by sending people to these crisis receiving and stabilization services instead of jail, where they don't need to be, instead of an emergency department, where they don't necessarily need to be, the projected savings is about $120 million a year for Hoosiers. So that's a very important aspect as well. And people who have mental health problems don't get better in jail. So we're getting them in the right system. So that's the second program I want to kind of highlight that's a newer program for us. In terms of financials, our total gross revenue for last year was about $30 million. Now that includes, when you break it down to net, we write off about a third of that. So a little almost $10 million we are adjusted through contractual agreements, bad debt, client assistance. We want to make sure that we provide the services people need. Money's important, but it's also a bit secondary. So we're not a small company, but we're not really one of the larger mental health centers in the state either. For Steuben County in particular, that charity care, if you will, is about $1.7 million to Steuben County residents. A few more numbers. Northeastern Center served 1,125 Steuben County residents last year. We run on a July through June fiscal year. So 1,125 individuals were served. There was 178 youth that were served during that time. That does not count touches that we provide through our school assistance program, through our school navigation program, and crisis intervention services. So one of the things that we do is when there is a tragedy, if you will, something bad happened at a school or even a business, and we're invited in, we'll come in and provide whatever mental health first aid is needed, that kind of thing. So those numbers do not include that because we don't really keep track of that. We keep track of the events. Overall, Northeastern Center served 4,907 clients last year. That was about a 4% increase from the previous year. We had 426 Steuben County residents who contacted our emergency services line. And one of the important stats to me is our client satisfaction. Steuben County residents expressed 89% overall satisfaction with our services. I'd like to see that 90, 95%. So 89 is okay, but that's really an important litmus is, are people getting better from our services? Are they happy with the services that they're receiving? So those are kind of the highlights of the program. And if there's any questions or comments or anything I could elaborate on, I'd be glad to.
You see seasonal changes,
Seasonal changes?
fluctuation through the years?
No, it sounds, however it sounds, so, our psychiatrist will say, what's the moon doing? The tides, I don't know if there's anything to that or not, but being able to predict, not really. I think overall people, I've got some theories about it that may be irrelevant, but I think people overall are more anxious these days. They're more depressed, and they're more stressed. And again, I think there's various reasons for that. So, yeah, we really don't see seasonal per se. We might in our schools. We have more challenges at the beginning of the school year. Summer, not so much. I think kids are out typically and unsupervised more. So I think our kid business goes down, the need for our kid services, but not really. I mean, I don't really see any fluctuations that are predictable.
So it's been a hot topic the last couple years with the system and everything, so.
Yeah, and we're trying to make sure that the services we provide have an impact. We want to make sure we're improving the lives of folks in our four counties. We're starting to take a harder look at one of those phrases is social determinants of health now, where people basically are born and live, work and die, and education opportunities, employment opportunities. So, we want to be a big part of that. We're finding that more services like through our ADC care, we've got to meet people's basic needs. It's difficult to worry about your mental health needs if you're hungry and don't have a place to live. So we're doing more outreach services. We're really excited about that. Workforce is a challenge as well. Getting good staff, keeping good staff is always a challenge too. So we do good work. I'm very proud of the work that we do, and I appreciate the support from the county to do that.
We appreciate the assistance you give to our community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Debbie, you're next.
I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about the system. Amy Sharp was the lead person on all of this, and she's still in court. She was supposed to be here with me today. Our FTR needs an update. We have emails back and forth with our IT company, our IT and New Era, which is our company that is supplying this. The FTR cloud
What's
program.
FTR?
FTR is our program that we record all of our audio in the courtroom with. So right now we've had it since we went digital, which is I think 2011, the same program, and it kind of needs updated. So they're trying to do it into a cloud-based system so that all of it will into a cloud-based system instead of backing it up into our computers and running down our computers and so forth, and trying to get it a little bit more updated into what we need to move forward. And also with our new podiums and being able to do all the Zoom, it will now also back up all of our Zoom hearings as well. So we have those for future use if we need to transcribe or any of that. Right now we can't do that. So this program will help us do that. But we have the quotes for each courtroom that we've presented, the 4360. That is a yearly contract. We've already got all of the money put into our budget from council. We just need the quotations signed and approved so that we can purchase it. We already have approval from the council. So we need to come get approval from the commissioners to get the contract signed.
I want to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask a question. If you don't know the answer, that's fine.
Sure.
So this is the 4360 is for the upgrade of the system. Is there additional fees for cloud storage?
No, that'll be the yearly fee that we pay every year is 4360. That is the cloud storage and everything. The additional fee that is, if you look at the very top, it says no labor is included. So I was emailing back and forth with Adam Sturry from New Era, and he said the labor is $250 per courtroom, is what he told me this morning in my email. We have that in our budget as well. It's obviously a one-time fee.
Questions?
I'm never really crazy about cloud storage, because if something happens, we have no recourse to recover.
I'm assuming Tammy and Nikki have got that covered because they're the ones that initiated getting this program.
So,
Give you more information about that, I think it actually gets them in a better position because it's actually encrypting. Is my understanding. We can follow up on that. I'm just now jumping into the project, so I'm not as familiar with it, but it does help them with transcription as well because they'll be able to do that in a more efficient way using this. So.
motion. I will move to approve, and I need additional for labor. It's $250 per work. So the quotes plus the $250 for labor on all 3 programs.
Second.
Any additional? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. How much easier this is?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just look at those to you. And you'll get the, okay. Thank you.
Say last name. We have more.
I know, two Nikki's about the same way, isn't that crazy? Good morning. So I just want to bring Rick up to speed. We were in here last July. Bills had found metal shavings in Pat's truck, the oil, during our routine maintenance. We were given direction to come back to you with ideas, quotes on a vehicle. Obviously, our office is very busy. Pat just kept doing his thing until January 9th when the transmission went out in his truck. So I do have handouts for you. I'll let Pat take over, but I have handouts for you that I just received Friday, not in time to get to you with our requests. Both need it?
Thank you. Unless you need it up there.
I have one.
So like she said, the transmission went completely out on that vehicle. It does have 192,000 miles on it, and it was a 2012. So when we were here last summer, we kind of knew it was inevitable that something was going to be happening with it shortly. So the quotes I got, it's I checked with the sheriff's office. It's who they've been dealing with to get their vehicles.
And they do not have anything
Right.
to hand out.
Yeah, they did not. I checked with them. They didn't have anything to pass down. So, the quotes I asked for, just, basically just a basic vehicle, not anything, no frills with what they had through Kelly. There's a couple quotes here for Silverado pickups. They gave a couple for Tahoes, and there's one for Durango. The Durango would have to be ordered. Everything else they have sitting on the lot right now that they have quoted over here.
Did you look at the van? Is that an option?
I have not looked at that, no.
Some you're in every day.
Not necessarily every day, but there's quite a few times, usually probably at least once a week that I'm out serving papers, tracking down witnesses, stuff like that. And it's as far as Fort Wayne, I've been in Coldwater. Here in the last year, so it's all over. Yeah, we had a witness I had to pick up at the airport in Toledo for the murder trial. So it was 4 trips back and forth over there. So.
On average, how much mileage do you think you put on either month, 6 months, year?
I think it was about, I'm trying to remember. It was roughly, probably close to about 10,000 a year, not quite that much maybe.
So you're probably under 10,000 a year.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's what it averaged my first year, and I've been in the position just not quite 2 years now, so I'm trying to remember what the approximate mileage was when I got the vehicle, so.
Austin, do you know how many miles are on our van?
I do not.
I don't think it's very many.
I'm thinking, it seemed like.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. What do you think of that?
I'm thinking van.
Is there a specific vehicle that works better for you?
Not necessarily.
You just need something to put stuff in, right?
Yeah.
We'll haul people in, occasionally.
Right.
How many fleet vehicles does the county have for training purposes? Because I know when I've scheduled, we struggle with getting a vehicle.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would eliminate that from employees using it for
Well,
training.
I think it's probably time that we look at replacing the van, give it to. Then we can, I think the last page, is a vehicle we should be looking at for ourselves and then rotating them out. We have EMA, multiple departments that use them. You can rotate them out every couple of years and keep buying new ones as we rotate them out.
So if we move to use that one, would it only be specific for them, or are there still instances where,
Well, we need to replace it with.
well, in the short term, they're out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
They're needing a vehicle.
Right.
So if they use that in the short term, there's still other offices that.
That do need that, so we can replace it.
We even have a request for you.
Yeah, I see, we gotta use your request here later.
Well, I mean, yeah,
That would provide him temporary coverage though until we
yes.
can bring another vehicle on.
I guess my question is, how's that usage gonna be scheduled? Because you're gonna need it when you need it, and not necessarily know that you're gonna schedule it.
Correct, because I do, if it's major crime scenes, I do just do some response to that stuff too, so it could be anytime.
This vehicle, he typically drives to and from work because there's a lot of times he's trying to serve people subpoenas for hearings before work or after work.
Correct, yeah.
So it's not like it would be over here, we ask for keys and then he comes and gets it. It would be
Right.
his vehicle to utilize.
That's what I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
didn't know.
understand the usage.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah.
give any false, yes, to take home.
Let's take them.
Who has requested besides,
4-H.
yeah,
Typically, the planning commission uses it for services. That's it.
BZA, right?
Yeah.
4-H.
And then it just depends on who has conferences coming up. Sometimes some of the departments take it for conference and sometimes they drive their own vehicle. It just depends on do we have anybody scheduled right now that you know of?
I
Just
think,
the
In the short term, I think.
extension office
Yeah.
requested using.
Give that to them, and we can decide what to do with the replacement.
Yeah, I don't think we've funded a vehicle, have we?
No, I actually made a note of that for budget time.
That's what have to come out of UCAP or an additional from council.
in my opinion, that a van is, I don't know what year it is. But it does have low miles, and I think it would serve him well. When he's putting on a year, vehicle would sit a lot of the time. That gives us, affords us the opportunity to get a rotation going.
Yeah. It's the occupancy of the.
Well, we have to make sure it's 7 passenger.
Yeah,
You know,
I was gonna say that.
yeah, or even an 8 passenger, like 2 bitch.
The It's leased as 6, possibly 7 passenger, that van is. But
No,
again, the Tahoe,
yeah, make sure that they're 7. I mean, I know they do fleet vehicles that are 7 passengers.
so it gets passengers. So it's got 3 rows of seating. Tahoe.
Mine does.
Does.
Hey, mine's got 8, it's got a bench. Bench in the back, so you can get 8.
Be cozy.
It's gonna play around.
So would you like a motion to allow them to, I guess I would make a motion if you're ready. Allow them to use the van until such time we can get one replaced here.
Second.
That was a motion?
Yes.
Then I need clarification on what to do. I don't have an invoice from Village yet for the towing, but I'm not sure what to do with the vehicle that it's not in operation.
I'll probably Aaron. Take care of
I'm
that.
gonna say, we'll probably let Aaron auction it off.
Yep.
Give the information to Aaron.
Yep.
So leave it at Bill's until, or have him bring it to a parking lot, or,
We don't have an estimate on repairing that.
the estimate on repairing it was $19,250, I think. I did bring all that information from July. You wanna see that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't need to break that down.
Yeah, right. So have Bill's deliver it to a county parking lot.
Why don't you wait till Erin would see what she wants to do with it? I don't know. They do that auction site, they might go straight to Bill's and pick it up. I don't know.
Okay,
We're getting you another vehicle.
okay,
Just try and coordinate it. I know we're gonna have some use of that van coming up here, so
okay.
just make sure that, you know, what dates those are blocked out so that they can have access to it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Nikki. If you do what happened, she keeps us. She has a case.
Thank you.
We'll get into that.
Did you guys make a motion?
Yeah.
Three of
Thank you.
I had 1 and 2, but I didn't have 3 of.
We do have not.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
I know.
You guys moved around.
I'm out of
and now-
position here. Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Commissioners, Auditor.
Morning, Sheriff.
Order.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
I did not know you guys had a van. I'm going to get a van this morning.
Oh, yeah?
And we got a few sick, so I'm the driver today to go pick up a van. Because our van went belly up last week and a half ago. One of our transport vans,
Okay.
which is no good. It's got 300,000 miles on it. We're not gonna reuse it. We'll be also getting old Aaron to auction that off.
All right, well, she's got some work to do then.
Yeah, yeah. But if you did find a place for us to deposit these old broken vehicles, let me know. Otherwise, it'll sit in a lot over here. There you go. You want to collect them, show them off for a while. Before you today, you've got Marine Patrol grant request just to get approval to apply for the Marine Patrol. Meaning the water patrols that we put on just during the summertime. Looking for approval.
This is your annual request.
It's our annual request. We always ask for roughly, I believe you have the application in front of you, right around $40,000, $35,000. And they give us 15. 15 is the max paid out through the grant system. It's quite hard.
Questions, motion? I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see what.
Morning, Nikki.
Commissioners, everyone,
Morning. Morning.
a few things, and bear with me, since this is my first time up here, I might do it out of order, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just wanted to let everyone know I felt really welcome here in the county, coming from Steuben County. It's been really nice to feel welcome and feel at home here so soon. Appreciate that. The first thing I believe I had was a memo that I sent to the commissioners asking for an update or a change in how we handle some of our information that we put in our meeting minutes, the commissioners' meeting minutes, and our live streams that pertain to those specific vendors, or software or hardware references as they relate to our network. And I can go into a little bit more detail, but I wanted to ask if maybe there's some feedback or direction on how you want me to handle this moving forward. I really feel like it's extremely important in this day and age that we start to be more thoughtful in the information we're putting out in public that actually affects the security of our network. And so if there are questions about that, I'd be willing to answer them, but I'm actually coming to you as the commissioner's body to see if you want to make it formal, or if you want me to take the information to the council as well, and then come up with a plan or a difference in how, at least for IT, how we put our information out, even as it regards our claims. Because a lot of times we put information here when we come to the commissioners with our claims that I really feel like it's too much information out in public that pertains to our security and the things that we're doing. So I think you probably read it already.
Well, yeah, I think you gotta trust that you're the expert on that, so.
Don, how would that affect the public information aspect of that?
I mean, the open door law would still apply. Upon request, they would have to request it to be evaluated and determine whether it's something that the open door law covers or not. But
Is there a way to protect those types of items from?
I'd have to look at the open door statute again, but there are certain things that are protected. Not sure I specifically understand what different is
The
different.
potential risk of allowing anyone to know and understand what type of infrastructure, software, et cetera, that the county uses in an effort to protect it from cybersecurity attacks.
They
Is that
can
a fair
only,
statement?
they could get the vendor, certainly, the supplier. I think an argument, a security argument can be made for the type of software not to be disclosed.
And I could also provide information from the state and from the other IT leaders that are out there that give advice on that, and direction on that, and
I think
that's still in line with
put
the
into
law.
some type of policy form and then asked by commissioners, but I think that's a great, I think it's a positive thing to look at for the protection of our network.
I can provide a draft as well of the policy.
One of those good questions for the AIC board Because we have IT represented there anyways on that board. We can ask that here coming up at, see what their position is on and possibly what the state's position would be then.
So that's a good project. Let's work on getting that taken care of.
When would you like me to have a draft of and I can give you any kinds of information you need. You can email me and give me advice.
Is that draft of a policy that you've seen elsewhere, that works, that satisfies the open door policy that
I'll have a meeting on February 4th.
You're okay.
That's a very good place to ask that question too.
And also, because I'm not aware, do I need to also maybe talk to the person who I'm working with on the council? And do I need to work with them at all, or just?
I heard that's going to be a policy decision, so that'll come out.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Okay, so the next thing I have is I updated our incident response plan, which is my responsibility as the IT director. I think you should have it updated. And the only thing I changed at this time was the point of contact information, as Tammy, who's my predecessor, her information was in there, so my contact information is in there now. So I just updated it. I was supposed to do that manually. The only thing I'm going to further update, which might be in the upcoming months, is alternative means of communication, and that's on page 14. There are some more secure platforms out there now for texting and online chat platforms, the ones that are in here currently, I'm not as comfortable using anymore. They're not as secure as they maybe once were. So I'm actually, and also secure file sharing, so that we're not doing things in the cloud. There are options in the cloud that are secure and options that are not. And so those three things I'd like to update. Now will be probably I'd like to get it done by February, get it updated and communicated to you. So you might see this again. So I could either have you all sign it today as is with the new point of contact information, or I can wait until next month when I have the alternative communication things worked out, so you only have to sign it once. It's just kind of up to you.
I think we can do this twice, since we already know about the current update that needs to be with our contact information, and then we can approve those changes to it next month in addition.
Okay. I think the auditor's office, a signature page, if you would like to sign that, so that you're done. Okay.
Is there a motion for approval of the cybersecurity incident response?
Move to approve.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And one last thing I have, this is an update on our security awareness training. And in keeping with what I said before, I probably will not be publicly telling our prior security awareness training program is specifically. But the vendor, the security vendor that we use that helps us manage our network, they are moving to a new security awareness training product or vendor. It's no additional cost to the county. And the reason they are doing it is because it integrates better with their security application that they use or framework that they use, instead of being separate. So they're able to see it every day and see what's going on with our email vulnerabilities and things like that. So they approached us this last week and requested if we could change it. Now, the benefit to the employees is the training is shorter. So it's still on a quarterly basis. they are, if we have new employees that are onboarded, they will be put right into that quarter's training. So they will not have 2 trainings back to back, and it will be 45 minutes or longer. So what we're hoping for, and what I'm hoping for is better participation from the employees, because it's not going to be such a chunk of time out of their day when, everybody has full plate anyway. So basically, I am just coming to the commissioners to let them know of this change. And then I am going to be sending out an email to department heads, the different departments, letting them know about the change and giving them a sample of an email that they might see when we move forward with this, so they're aware that it's going to be different. So, if there are any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer.
You're gonna take the training all over again?
No, it was on schedule for this first quarter, and we just delayed the current one so that there won't be double up.
Gotcha.
Even though it's working.
So we've been trained to, when there's a change like that, to question that severely, so you'll be getting some questions.
Oh, I'm happy to explain the need for it, yes.
Thank you.
So,
And we haven't officially met yet, but come and talk, so.
yeah, I would just like to say, we've moved, we're mostly moved down to our new area, in the lower level of the annex, so I invite anyone to stop by and see our new area that we have. It's working out really well for us.
Everybody's over there now?
Yes, I think we still have someone out on leave, but it's where all of our mini things I've been gathering from all the storage areas and bringing them down. So, yeah, getting settled in. Thank you.
Austin, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning, everybody.
Morning, Austin.
So today I got some upkeep items. First one, I have a few quotes for the surveyor's office. I have a broken cracked window. It's cracked all the way. I got a quote from NEI, the glass guy, and then O'Neill's. NEI came in the cheapest. I had the glass guy and NEI, they do not tint the glass. All these windows are tinted, so want to do that to match. I got a separate quote from Cunios who have tinted the windows in the past. And NEI came in at the cheapest at a total of $789.38.
That's with that and the tent.
That's what, yes.
Would confirm.
Okay, so to clarify, NEI Glass and Cunios?
Yes.
And probably no maintenance. Yes. Okay. Any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
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 Thank you. Next item is our audio equipment, our auditorium. What we have now is pretty outdated. We've gotten 2 quotes from audio video systems. They are located here in Angola, and they provided, the quotes are exactly the same. There's one difference, and that's the mixing board. They have a 8-channel mixing board, which is very bare bones and basic. And then they have it's a 40-channel. It's a digital mixer. It gives you a lot more options. Whoever came in, they could bring in their own equipment, plug it in. It gives you a lot. You can grow into it, I should say. Whereas 8-channel, you're going to be pretty limited to what you can do. This would allow us to. I think we could use it quite a bit more, the auditorium, than what we're currently using it for. I haven't seen it used since I've been here. I don't know how often it gets used, but
Well, when it does get used, we've had issues with having meetings and microphone issues and people being able to hear. So I think it's very important that we update it to make it to when we do have those big public hearings or public meetings that we have a good system. I mean, I initially did this, asked, when they did this room, asked them to get the quote on that, and then Austin updated everything, so.
Are a lot of this stuff gonna be hardwired or is it gonna be wireless?
It can be both. So I think there's some mics.
I guess my reasoning for that question is this is all audio. If there's no video
Correct.
in this mix, but if we're running hard wire, why not run the extra wires so we can do the video also? Or is that not a possibility?
We're not, there is positive, you'd be running through that mixer, everything, but if you have a mixer, you can do all that. You can ask them to do it. Yeah. We'd want that video down later, we'd have no problem doing it.
I guess my question is if we're having to run cables.
I don't think this is running any cables, this is just updating.
This is not running that cable.
No.
None.
This is I mean, we're using existing cabling or replacing some stuff that's there. And then, but the stuff that's in there is probably mid-90s equipment.
Yeah, so I would imagine even the cabling would be obsolete in that.
Well, I mean, they got cables for mics in there, and then,
That's just running from the mixer to the mics,
Right.
which are floor plates.
yeah,
From the way it looks, there's
Right.
recessed floor plates.
right.
I guess my question is if there's any chance of cutting down on labor, if we add video to this at some time, being able to run those cables at the same time to make them available. Because at some point, you're probably gonna want either some screens or availability of that, when you have some of those type
That's
meetings.
what I was just about to suggest is do we actually want to look at putting, upgrading that system, but putting the capability in so that when we do have meetings in there that need to be publicly broadcast, the availability is there to do it without having to move equipment from here to there.
Yeah, I guess get with them and
I'll go back to them and see what needs to be done.
that makes sense.
We've experienced it a little, not
Yeah.
a lot, but we've had instances where we've had meetings in there that would require under the new code to probably be
It would be.
live streamed. So to your point, do it all at once.
Okay, good advice. Unless it doesn't make sense, then.
Right.
If it's gonna be all wireless or like that, then it's like.
Next item, so we got a gate at the judicial center. We need to get some work done to the door. I can go into detail. I don't know how much detail you want me to go into.
Probably not much.
Okay.
That can be a bond item still.
Yes.
I think it, verbal ones.
Yes.
Is it the gate on the south side,
North side.
north side?
East.
East?
Yeah.
No, it's north.
North. Facing the jail.
Facing the jail or facing the,
Street.
on the jail side?
Oh, sorry, I'm turning around. Yep. North.
Yep.
I'll move to approve.
I'll say. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on
What that,
what that all is.
what, you understand what that would be?
Yes. Just not really involved in this discussion.
Oh, initially, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Next item.
This is the True Green contract. Background, I think for a second or third time, there's some verbiage that needed to be added, relating to the 30-day renewal notice, as well as adding the block that the judicial center sits on. So these are both in this updated contract, and it is for 1 year. And it's grand total of $1,931.28. That's something we do every year.
You want True Green?
Yeah,
Yes.
They modified the contract to 1 year.
they did modify it for you. The one I'm looking at still shows term as being 3 years, and the amount is being $1,804.92.
That's the old.
Must be the old.
You have the new one with you?
Yeah. Did you get that, Abby?
They just redlined it, I think, for. They sent to me redlined, so they may have modified the contract.
This one has sales tax on it.
Yeah, I
Should be
mentioned that.
1804.92.
They always put that in, they always take it off.
1804.92 is the current amount.
This does not have the red line through the 3 years.
They modified the contract. But what I redlined, sent to them, and they sent back a modified contract. Me. And I think somebody sent it to me, so.
You pass that down. That's still showing a 3-year permanent.
Okay, this one, they show a 1-year
I think
term.
what it was, they have a program they use to input their quotes and automatically inputs all that. There is a line in there at the second page, I believe, that points out that it's 1-year contract and 30-day notice.
Is it on or not?
No, this is the whole contract.
Yeah, but this one is showing sales tax.
It does show
But
1
it
year,
does
but it's
have the
showing
1 year.
sales tax.
Yeah, I mentioned when I sent up the response to modified contract, that it's got to take the sales tax off it.
So
You don't pay sales tax no matter what, so.
Right, so if you would like to actually, we could approve this with the clarification that it is the 1-year term and it's for $1,804.92. We could ask them to correct that and get us one and then I can stamp a signature to it.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Does that work?
Yep, that's my motion.
That's your motion?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Can we follow that?
Yes, I did.
Now you got it. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye. Last one. So Aaron and Lee, I have been working on the frames for the evacuation routes for the judicial center. They found about 5 of them. I put together this page, it shows the cost. You have the pictures in front of you, the cost. At that point, I'd be up to you guys as far as what you want to see in there. I think we agreed that the last 2 looked nicer,
Numbers 4 and 5.
more simple. But they're 54 frames. I think he calculated 14 for each floor. But we do have procedures for tornado as well. So I don't know if you guys want to order the extra at the same time for when those get done. That way they're available and they both match. Begin to count.
I would assume they would fit in the same size frame.
It's 11 by 17.
So you'd be looking at 108 frames instead of 54.
The, one statement on here, I'm kind of questioning a little bit, and that was from Lee, where it spoke about a shelter in place or storm shelter map. That shelter in place deal with a situation like an active shooter. I don't think you'd want to put maps on the building to show somebody where people will be
Yeah,
holding up, correct?
I wouldn't think.
See, they're right here. I know where to go.
I think the storm shelter,
Storm shelter part of it I can see, but
yeah, but the shelter in place is shelter in place. It's not showing a map, it's just gonna be a shelter in place.
kind of popped into my head. I was like, that's not sure what that would look like, but
I'm not emergency management, but I'm sure that's for accountability, you probably have to have that. I mean,
it surprised me. So 108 frames, good choice.
the recommendation by,
we thought the last two were pretty nice. They'll go with everything, a little more simple. Only problem is the second to last one, they have a low stock. So if we couldn't get 108 of those, it'd be the next one, which is the most expensive. But
So whichever one you're thinking, it's double that amount that
Right.
the
when you get 108 of them.
option 1 and 3 are also nice. They are in order
So the pictures are in order, or,
for the option, yeah.
so option 1 or option 3,
for frame,
what's that?
yeah, for the actual frame.
Option 2 looks like it hangs. You can just slide something in and out of it as needed.
That's gonna be the cheapest looking of all of them.
Yeah.
Option 2 or option 4. It just stands off the wall a little bit better.
Well, it's got like pins that make it look a little more decorative on option 4.
Is that your choice? Is that a motion?
Option 4?
Yeah.
Times 2, right?
Yeah.
What, excuse me, Andy then Rick? Yes?
So I have to bring this back again. I did say that option 4, it showed that they had a low quantity. If we can't get option 4, is there a second option?
Or see how long it takes to get that many in.
You can get 54 of them right now, then, because you have an order.
It says this, only 2 left in stock on the,
I mean, that picture was a couple weeks ago. I don't know how many they have now. They're
okay,
Plan B.
yeah.
Is this on,
Samsung.
okay.
You consider amending your motion for a option 1 and an option 2. So that he doesn't have to come back to us in the event 1 is unavailable.
If I amend that to be option 2 or option 4, depending on availability.
Option 4 being the first option,
Option, the first option, yeah.
and option 2 being the second.
Is that your amendment?
Yes. Second.
Second. Number 4 or number 2?
I just think with as you get down to the bottom of the stairs and you have those clear plates, there's smoke screens and stuff in there that this would probably match that as good as anything.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Thank you. On the fund item.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
So that's all working.
Working pretty good. It's something to definitely get used to. A lot different than just really playing with salt and sand mix, so. Yeah.
Definitely a lot less stuff in my garage, that's for sure.
I hear that a lot. I do.
That's gotta make people happy.
First off, County Road 200 North, final paperwork submitted to NDOT, waiting for approval. Once approved, we'll close out the accounts and contracts on the county's end. 100 North, 200 West roundabout is notified DLZ to begin condemnation paperwork on parcel 3. Bridge 37, working on stage 2 of the plans. Okabachi South Phase 1, the geotechnical work is to begin early November.
So they've already done boring stuff through there.
They've done some of it already.
That's what I thought as well, so.
Early November of 25.
24.
This was 24. I'm not sure if he updated this note or not. I apologize. Small structure number 7. Pre-construction meeting set for January 29th. I do have a contract that he would like signed. Once it's signed, he will submit to NDOT to receive awarded community crossing funds. His first question.
Either small structure 7. Small structure 7, yeah. That motion. Andy moved to approve small structure 7 contract.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Just 2 copies of it.
Good. The county fuel site is up and running. We've had some hiccups getting it going, but everything's kind of worked out. It's working great for us. They've got a letter here with for your approval, sent out to the department heads. Just showing the cost of the fuel and the administrative fee, I guess, that they want to do, so I'll give this to you guys.
Yeah, I see that. So I am questioning the administrative fee. I don't know if you guys looked at that or not, or talked about that.
Guess that'd be adding it on price per gallon to charge back into the department. Administrative fee.
Say that again.
The charge back per gallon is whichever department fuel line item an administrative fee would attach to that, gallons,
Gallons, yeah.
yeah, which would be paid back this year.
Question on that, Kelly?
Well, we gotta come up with a dollar amount on it for one thing. Who's responsible for paying it?
Each department would pay that administrative fee from their fuel line item.
Unless I misunderstood it, it would have been charged back at a price per gallon.
I think it's just,
No, just a
Or it's
flat.
just a flat fee.
I believe it's just a monthly thing with the. Just come up with their.
Did he have was there a suggestion for what that amount was?
No, there probably was, but it's my mind.
Okay, that's fine.
So I had a conversation with him after the LAPC meeting that occurred last week. And we were discussing how the billing will work. And he said it could have been $1. And I said, well, why don't you set it at like $5 or $7.99 or something if it's per month for administrating the breakdown of the overall bill that gets sent out to departments. I don't know if he settled on something, but he was jokingly saying it was going to be about $1. I said $5.
Does it need to be an admin fee?
I think there probably
I think
does.
there does because of the fact it's coming out of their highway
Road.
Yes.
For, he said State Board of Accounts or his reporting.
And it's still a significant savings to us. Can it be okay if we table this until we get a recommendation from you, Chip, on it?
Great with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Table.
Favor of that?
Aye.
Okay.
Speed radar signs, he is still working on that. Then there's a safety grant, updated by NDOT that we must now hire a PE, receive the quote for $30,000 to do this. If we want to proceed. If we do it with the PE, it'll be 100% local funds, see attached draft letter. You'd like to see that?
We just received a draft letter that we were going to submit to Indianapolis.
Good.
We'll review that and have that in the mail probably before the day's over.
Okay.
I already thought we voted on turning that down.
About what? No, what we were going to do, we had to make a decision by, I think, our first meeting in February
Okay.
on it.
All right.
Whether we're going to accept or deny it, and it was our thought in the last meeting was to try to address Indianapolis to see if they can't maybe change their mind on that requirement.
Next thing is the campus parking lot project. You'd like to know if you received the aerial drawings and do you need anything else from?
Need nothing right now other than some time to review it.
Okay.
Yep.
Unless you know how to build space. And not vertical.
Yeah. I gave Kelly the annual material bids. We'd like to, you guys please approve award all bidders and allow us to purchase material from the lowest bidder based on availability. And then the fuel, we request an award of the cash purchasing of fuel, not contracted pricing. Futures seem to be going down. And what I've been talking to fuel companies, they said if we contract for, say, 6 months, it's the contract at the highest point possible, just because it might go up, might go down.
So any of the contractors around the county that buy fuel in bulk like that, I've talked to, all of them say you don't want to contract fuel.
They told me to
Do it on a day-by-day basis, and I talked with Chip enough to know that we have enough volume there that we can play that market a little bit. To the point where fuel come down today, you make a phone call, and when can you have it there, and trucks coming. This contracted futures on fuel is not a good thing.
Still better than we're doing.
Oh, way better than what we're doing because of the volume that we're purchasing when you can drop a full semi-load every time, it's considerable savings, but the contract out, it's different than any other commodity because of its validity in the market. And they'll charge, like he said, they're gonna charge us the highest possible markup if we're gonna contract it. I don't care if it's for 2 months or 6 months. We're gonna pay the highest price.
One fuel company said if we do decide to contract, they would recommend contracting 25% and buying on the spot 75%. He says, almost guarantee you, you're gonna be taking that spot price over the contracted price.
So you have contracts for all materials?
Yeah.
So then these are the ones that we're looking at are contracted. What they sent.
Yeah, these were his recommendations based on all the bids that came in, correct?
This page here on my computer?
Yep.
Okay. I did have because I noticed some of them, you know, API has some but not the other, and it seemed like, you know, not on all of them. There's a couple of them that I was looking at, I was wondering if the price, if they got both of them, whether combined, it would be any better. They bid those out. I'm unfamiliar with how they're bidding these.
Okay.
Because they're bidding each individual product. But, you know, one of them, say if it's resurfacing, one of it's taking it off, one of it's putting it back on. The same company would get both bids. Would that price be any better than what we're getting?
No.
Is what I'm asking, you know, because it seems like they would have, you know, staff there. If it's not the same staff, then yeah, I get it. But if it is the same, then why wouldn't that price be a little better?
So it's just kind of always been that way.
Okay.
I assume, been that way since I've been in this role, and I think most 9 times out of 10, we all really it ourselves. So it's always I picked up because with API, EMD, Brooks, that company as well. Aggregate stuff is the same way. We always go to the pit and pick it up. Hardly ever have people bring it to us.
Okay.
So what they're asking for is an approval for the annual bids from Monday, January 6th, and attached to bid tabulations for aggregates, bituminous, liquid asphalt materials, and fuel, culvert, guardrail, and bridge materials were submitted by American Timber Bridge, St. Regis Culvert, Civil Con, Milestone Contractors, and St. Regis Culvert, motor, grease, and fluid materials, pricing from Brown and Sons Fuel. We recommend approval of all bidders in Loudoun County Highway to purchase materials off the vendors that are listed based on availability and price at the time they're purchasing. So that's what I would need a motion for to approve, to allow the highway to do that.
So moved.
So
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
It's just me trying to get my head around how this.
Essentially, all of them are approved, and they can choose who they get to and provide some of the best pricing.
community crossing, 2025. The chip is presented at the council for approval and signature financial commitment letter. And we'll have the application before the end of the month. And I guess it has been submitted. Next is, like to have the highway garage painted. Something that, Will and Andy, you and I have talked about. So I started working on that, and it just, we had a company last year come to us, and they gave us numbers for, kind of wish list we had at the highway department. So we took those numbers and budgeted that way, and I reached out to that same company, and then two other ones as well. And so the painting, we only had one that got back with us. And it was Holden Builders and Painting out of Hamilton. An amount of $36,112.60 to paint it. And like this, you can approve that. And they would get that on their schedule as soon as the weather breaks. We propose like a light gray color or two-tone, whatever you guys would like. We'll try to get some color swaths out there. So whenever you have time, you can stop by and take a look and see what you think on it.
Are budgeted for that?
Yes.
I'll second.
Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
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 Next one, most of you know, most of that seams out there with need some space. Like we were talking about lean-to on the east side of the building. So same thing. First company they got with us, gave us a number. That's what we budgeted for. Then I reached out to two other ones. And Norm's Construction and also Myers Construction. Did it. We'd like to award for your approval, Norm's Construction out of Pleasant Lake, the amount of $36,500. And we have to go to the state for the building permit. Jim's gonna work on that, so this could change their pricing just a little bit, but it's contingent on that. You guys would approve on that.
What do we budget for that?
The budget for this was 46,000, or was our budget number?
It's not to exceed that way any further.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So what's the 36?
$36,500, and it's 24 feet by 168 feet.
All wood post.
What's that?
All wood post.
Yes. And that would be able to get all of our equipment home. So
Yeah, I'll make a motion not to exceed 39,000. That should get, I mean, that's more what you need, gonna need for CDRs and everything, but that was it's 36, and then they have to get state approval. That's some additional costs. Make sure that we don't go using some wiggle room.
Budgeted amount for that was higher.
It was, it was 40.
so 46.
46, yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay. Could you repeat the dollar amount again, Andy? 39?
Not to exceed 39,000.
They just have to come back for.
If it was over.
Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Thank you. Next one is our 2025 draft road program. Please find the draft road program for 2025 attached. Feel free to reach out with any questions you would like approved at February 3rd board of commissioner meeting, so that we can line up materials and use. So that's the.
He's asking for that to be approved at our next meeting.
At your next meeting, yes.
You'll have time to review it. Between now and then, provide any questions or feedback to him.
I was just making sure that's the same one that was in there.
The next one is patch tug replacement. This is something that is in our equipment replacement program. We did find one, it's a 2015 Silverado, 1 ton. And I'm gonna mispronounce this, but it's a Chevrolet dealership, Jasper, Indiana. $32,995 is what they were asking for the truck. We did get approval from you. I just said with the weather and everything, I have not made it down there yet. I've been off. Maybe this week, if the weather cooperates, I can get down there and take a look at that pickup and see if that's something that's gonna work for us or not. So
you've not purchased it yet, but
no, I have not.
It'll be a motion to purchase it. I think we gave verbal on that.
Yes,
Yes.
you did get verbal.
Just need to get him a finalization on it.
but that was,
He doesn't know if he's gonna actually purchase it yet, though, right?
Exactly, because I haven't been down there, so it's just something in the notes. I let you know that I have not been down there yet, so.
I think we can give him the authority to purchase it if he
Okay.
chooses to.
Move to approve the purchase, at your discretion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
So the next item, this all kind of started when we were getting ready for the insulators done. They came in last week and finished up, so I only have a couple more rooms left to finally get that place all buttoned up, but it is getting better. But we found out that our roof over the office portion of our building was leaking pretty good. We've been up there the last few years with some caulk guns, myself and the crew, and tried to make it last as long as we possibly could. So I reached out 3 different roofing companies that did standing seam. I figured if we're gonna screw through it, at least we can hide the fasteners. I had one get back with me, came right out, Masterpiece Metals out of LaGrange, Indiana. They did a quote for us, $16,886.80 to do the roof, with additional $1,130 for the gutters from the building as well.
The whole building?
Just from the office.
Just in front of the office?
Just the office part, yes.
and a gutter just in the office area.
Yes.
So
Be a grand total of $18,016.80.
you gotta make sure whatever new roof you put on in gutters matches what we're gonna paint it to.
Exactly.
It's guessing decisions to make. I'll move to approve.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than jail.
And this is.
A whole lot smaller.
I'll second.
Second.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you. If he doesn't.
Positive, no problems.
Yes.
You let it go.
We have no problems. The next thing is Pocabachi Trail Task Force contribution, received invoice. Needs line item to pay for the task force contribution. This has nothing to do with the budget match for Pocabachi South Phase 1. You guys see that?
I had gotten an email on that, but unfortunately she couldn't be here today. So we were looking at it for that last year. For that.
Out of that same thing, come out of our not-for-profit line item too.
Either one. Whichever one you would prefer.
I don't recall where we took it from, but
I was thinking,
like
rainy day or
something. I think it might have come out of our consultant. Not sure.
I don't remember.
I don't
That's
either.
IMEDN. We briefly discussed it on Friday, maybe. And like I said,
unfortunately she couldn't be here today.
Suppose we could provide, so we can get our bills paid, we could
Right.
provide her with a motion that would allow it to come out of either our not-for-profit line item and seek it, or from the same funding mechanism as we used in 2024.
Which could be that same.
Might be that same line item.
Could be. Well,
So allow them to at
if
least
it's
do
not,
it.
we want to take it out of, which one we want first? The one we were taking up last year.
Yeah, that
First
would be my
choice.
first choice. The
Yes.
second choice would be to
Okay. First, same as last year, to NFB.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you motion?
Sure, I'll make that my motion.
I'll second.
Any questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Okay. That one's done.
Next, on demolition project. He asked about the humane shelter, the old humane shelter.
Oh, yes.
Still want that done, us to do it,
Yes.
okay? What accounts can we rent the excavator and schedule dumpster rentals from? And would March work as a timeline to perform this work?
I think it's just however your guys' schedule works with that.
That's kind of the heavy,
Anything?
that'd be a cute cap line item.
Yeah.
Are you taking down the garage or just the?
No, we'll leave it in the
I
garage.
think we're gonna leave the garage for storage.
Yeah, there's stuff, I mean, there's various got stuff in there, sheriff's got stuff in there. It was the building and the sign.
Okay. So we have control of that.
Building now.
It was taken care of.
Leases expired or relinquished or whatever.
It's been really.
And then we have some, I think, windows have been broken in it, so I think we decided to come down for liability issues and safety issues. There's really nothing in there to salvage, so.
Do you have prices on the excavator and the dumpsters?
I don't.
No.
We've rented dumpsters here in the past month, I'd say. And the cheapest that we have found would be Waste Haul out of Kennedville, Kennedville Mountain. That's who we've used. But I'm assuming if they can get them to us, we would use those as well. But he also wants to, in lieu of all that, he would like to use that excavator to take down those two houses down at the Roundabout project as well. Okay, just kind of.
Yeah.
All ones.
Probably drive it down there, right?
Well, yeah, put on the truck.
Low way, take it down. Might be a little rough drive.
Yeah.
Rough on our asphalt.
It'd be nice to have a dollar amount or an estimated dollar amount.
I think it was 20 grand is what his estimate was when I initially talked.
So you want to do not to exceed number on that also?
Or do we, if he doesn't need, if he's not doing it till March, I guess
And yeah,
we can readdress,
get
have him
numbers and stuff.
get numbers and stuff, come back to us.
We have no idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's gonna take.
Yeah, let's try and get an estimate together on that.
Yeah, especially if you're tying in.
But yeah, the funding, I think mechanisms available there.
Yeah.
And it should work out pretty good.
Question. So I'm assuming the humane shelter will come out of Cume Cap, but the tear down of the houses, that'll be highway.
That'll be good.
So we'll be able to break that out.
Yep.
All right.
Be based on hours or days rental on excavator.
Excavator is usually
Day.
hours, or no, excuse me.
Daily.
Daily, yes. Yep.
Can I have your contact ID for the range hill, just so you know?
Do
You
what?
didn't have to bring that up.
Huh?
You didn't have to bring that up.
Well, the penalties are pretty stiff, so I thought I might break that.
Do we know when that was built?
I had no idea.
Looks like it's.
What was brought up? I'm sorry, I missed what Don said.
Contact IDEM to make sure there are any hazardous materials in the
Humane shelter is what I'm thinking of as a commercial, government building. Commercial building. The house is not so much, but
It wasn't owned by us. Just the property itself.
Which, the humane shelter?
Yeah.
They signed off on that.
Well, it is now,
Yeah, but it
but
wasn't
it
then.
wasn't. Was it owned or built by county dollars or? It wasn't owned or built by county.
I don't think, I'm just suggesting you contact IDEM. You may be okay, they may not send anybody up, but just dealt with them in Butler. And, the contractor did not contact IDEM and they were not happy.
Well, I'm sure they'll be contacted on the other two.
We can definitely
Yeah.
check into that, yes.
Yes.
Then just general operations, like I said, insulators were in, got it kind of sealed up. Other than that, we're watching weather every day and plowing snow, working on signs if we need to, and patching. Good.
Sounds good.
That's what I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your energy heating bills will be going down, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how warmer it was in that building this morning than it has been in the past.
And the trucks will like it.
Yeah.
This last thing with the excavator, that's just a verbal to move forward, right? And then,
Cost estimate.
yeah,
The last few that we've rented, we got from Walker-Roosa heavy equipment, Waterloo heavy equipment.
Waterloo down there.
Yeah, that's where we've been getting them the last few times. So,
We got some pretty nice ones.
yeah, and they get them right to us. So,
Scott here.
Same, we use with chip.
Oh, yeah, they have these.
yeah, class down in Fort Wayne. Yep,
Oh, that's right, today's class.
yeah, that's where
I'm sorry.
everybody's at.
So he's interested in having some type of accounting software out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think the option you listed, there's a very good option.
I'd like to see some.
I think,
I guess, why does he need accounting software?
There is no electronic software out there whatsoever right now.
Like paper ledgers.
Yeah, but, so is it for the rentals of the building, or is it for all the campers, or?
I think it's for everything, from what I understand. It was so that he could,
I think, Alicia, you might be able to answer the system that you guys have and the, planning department has. Can we add to those, use that in other departments?
When it comes to SmartGov, you might be able to add most of it. I think the only issue would be if he's looking at, like changeover, if it's high changeover, like for the campers or, event rental thing, he might be able to do it.
But see, I thought we purchased like a multi, department package for that.
We did.
Yes.
But that's more for like permitting, so like the different steps to go in it, we could build it in, but the county parks would have to pay for the structure for his programming to be built. So there would be some costs incurred, but I do believe that he would be able to build reports and kind of set the window, 30-day reportable on what he's accepted and what has been paid out for fees or for costs. So yes, it would be able. The only thing would be if he's accepting credit cards, would he be using Point and Pay or would he be using his own credit card software? Because that's getting pretty complex with building and planning and then the health department already using one receiving deposit account at the bank.
I think he uses Forte, if I'm not mistaken. He uses pay.gov. Pay.gov? Okay.
And it's deposited into Farmers State.
Heed the warning number IT to. You might want to heed the warning of our IT,
Sorry.
personnel by giving out. personal one. But yeah, I think the way I understand it, it would be doable
Yes.
for another department to use that system.
Um,
I mean, I think it'd be a smart thing to do so we're not having,
It'd be much cheaper than this, because this is all gonna be cloud-based now.
yeah.
You can't buy a desktop version.
No.
It's expensive.
And I know,
Unless you're already.
and I know when I was at the parks before, my other, it was it was the same system, same company that they use.
Would you like me to facilitate a conversation with him to see if, okay. I will reach out to him and see what, I guess, the complexity of what he wants to do and what he's looking for and see if it's feasible. And then I'll most likely just ask him to come back to you guys and explain it and then find out what the cost would be.
Let's mark up the,
Absolutely.
because I think anything is feasible with that system. It's just how you want it to look.
Yeah.
It's probably paying into it, I think.
Thank you. Okay, Lisa?
Good morning. So I do have 3 requests that I submitted to you today. I'm just gonna go in order that's on the agenda. The first one is a pretty large request for a grant that we received through IDOH, the Indiana Department of Health. And that is to purchase vaccine storage, refrigerators and freezers. So this is very high-end medical equipment that the reason it is such a high value ticket item is because it can keep the temperature within around 1.2 to 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So it has to be very well calibrated. This also includes so like for like replacement of what we already have. And in addition, 2 items would either be additional or made larger. The first one would be an additional upright refrigerator that is 1 door. That would be to separate our publicly funded stock of vaccines and equipment from our private held. And that is to reduce any kind of human error or crossover. CDC gets pretty particular when we use dollars for the publicly funded and replace it for the privately funded. We used to be able to do that, so if it was the same vaccine, we would just hop it back over, but now they're tracking serial numbers and actual dosage of that, and they don't allow that anymore. So we now need to have it separated to reduce any kind of error on that. The second item that is larger or different than what we previously have or have currently is our freezer. We have a little tiny under-the-counter freezer that we use, and right now we are told that it's overstocked and overstuffed. We usually have an air gap between each of our different items, and right now everything is kind of just smushed in there like a fridge at home when you go to the grocery store, and they don't like that. So this would actually be doubling the size of it so we can space everything out. We can keep additional stock so we don't have to re-up so often with our programming. So the quote itself, would you like me to run the line item by line item for the record?
That's 25 cubic foot.
That would be the 25 cubic foot laboratory freezer, correct? So on here, we have a 44.9 cubic foot refrigerator. That would be for public stock.
First one you referenced, or is that different?
That is a different one.
Okay.
The different one would be line item number 4, the 25.2. That would be the new item that we do not currently have. That would split off of the line item number 2. So instead of having one with both stocks in it, we would now have number 2 for public and number 4 for private health. The line item number 3, the 5.3 cubic foot, that's actually going up into our STD clinic. We currently have one up there. That one has been experiencing quite a few issues. We just had a bill in for about $1,400 for them to do soldering work to replace the fan housing because it had cracked for some reason. And these things are so, I would say they're run so consistently that they wear out around their half-life, which right now are 44.9 9 cubic foot that we have is at its half-life. And then the 2 smaller refrigerant and freeze combo are past their half-life. So this is when the repairs start to get more and more expensive. We're replacing sealed systems, we're replacing more soldering on it, and calibration is harder to do. So this is coming out of a grant. This was specifically given to us, this money, for this purchase. And this includes delivery and setup. The first time we did this, the 44.9, we brought that in ourselves off the truck, set it up, and then True Blue came in after and just looked at it. I'm never committing to that again. It is way beyond my expertise. So we're gonna let the experts do it. And that's what the $1,840.65 is. So they would bring in all 4 items, set them up, calibrate them initially, give us all the paperwork, and then we would be good to go. This request is only for the purchase and the setup of them. The current ones we have to keep for an additional month beyond that because we have to verify temperatures of the existing and the new ones line up, and then we can switch our stock over with approval from the state and the feds. It's a process.
How do you get rid of the old ones then?
So there are 2 options. One, so last time we had our old fridge, which was the Fishers, we actually donated it to Project Health for diabetic food and medicine storage. We could either enter them in the auction and then the funds received back would have to go into our legacy line items, 1168 and 1206, because that's where we purchased them from. Or we could donate them to somebody in need in the community as long as they were aware they're not going to be calibrated for vaccines or pharmaceutical. They could be used for some other purposes, but they're still nice equipment. It's just they're not keeping the standard anymore because they're past their half-life.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye. Aye.
Thank you.
I do have a question on the location of those. Are those all powered by plugins that are generator backed up or not?
Only one that is not is the one that's on the 3rd floor. And usually what we do is we transfer stock from here and week up there, and then we have the ability to bring it back down if needed. But yes, all of the equipment will be on the generator for generator backup. I'll give you numbers. Yes. And the nice thing to note about Helmer Scientific, they are an Indiana-based brand and they are created in Indiana. So we are representing and purchasing from Indiana, which is wonderful. Next on the agenda is approval to use and usage of the grant contracts for H5. First, Indiana, my apologies. These are the 3 existing sub-grantees that we had last year. Of course, with the first year of anything, there are some hiccups. This year, it got a little bit more structured. The grant contract itself has not changed at all. Don reviewed these last year. And the only thing that has changed on here is the dates themselves, January 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. And this includes sub-granting $12,000 in total in 2 equal payments of $6,000 each every 6 months. Based on their submission of the W-9, their budget, and any metrics that they might have not turned in to me. And that is with Well Child Clinic upstairs, Fate Community Health Clinic, which is south of town right here, and then Bowen Health, which is north of town. And those are covering areas from referral and access to care for underprivileged individuals or those that don't have insurance, dental care for pediatric patients who don't have dental coverage, and then also for mental health service and addiction recovery. Only stipulation that I made for Bowen Health is we could not use the money, and this is a federal requirement, for the purchase of cover of MAT, which is medication assisted therapy. So we're not using this money for payment of medication to assist with addiction recovery. But other than that, we had a good year last year, They were really excited to work with us. We got some very good, interesting numbers. If you'd like to see them, I can make them available by email. I can hand you any additional paperwork right now. If you don't.
Question? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye. Aye.
And then last but not least is my favorite subject, Medicaid. This is called revalidation. We originally did this in 2019 to 2020, starting the process for the first time. We are now up for renewal. This is something that all providers have to go through, even EMS and food and aware. And we are looking to go through it. Unfortunately, they have changed a couple times. I attached screenshots of what their website is now saying. They do not accept anything except for electronic payment, which is a EFT or a credit card. And then also they don't give you a price because everybody is a little bit different based on their taxonomy, which is what we qualify as a public health agency. In the past, it was $688 in 2023, and then in 2024, it was $709. So my request is to use the commissioner's credit card not to exceed $800 in total. And then I would give you the final amount when I return the credit card information to the auditor's office.
Motion?
Yep.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussions? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thanks for your help today.
Did you say not to exceed 800?
$800, correct.
Okay, finally Trinity.
Good morning. I'm here to request approval for the JDAI grant. This is a reoccurring grant. Kathy Armstrong has been putting in for this grant since 2016. And the due date is the 31st of this month.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye. Aye.
Thank you.
So you are Kathy's replacement?
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you. Who's first and second?
Trinity,
Yes, ma'am.
we will get you on the council agenda also.
For the 11th.
Yeah,
Okay.
so go ahead and complete your process and then we'll get you on there.
Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
I almost took it. I guess I'll return that call.
Get ready for you, we keep going.
Keep going if, we can,
All right,
we can go.
go. Okay, claims of $756,821.13. Property tax refund in the amount of $13.50. Treasurer's scheduled excise tax payments, $21,703.44.
Excise or excess?
Yes, that's, excuse me. Additional property tax refunds, $1219.09. Additional refunds of $80.14. Out of cycle claims, $140,651.70. And the sheriff's vehicle that he just replaced at $41,281.
To approve
Second.
all the claims, A through F, and item number 1.
I'll second.
Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. This item is it's too far. Payroll for January 10th, 2025, in the amount of $570,178.22.
Move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? Favor signify with aye. Aye. Draw for the month, $40,083.45.
Move to approve.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye. Aye.
Again?
No.
No.
Oh, somebody moved the names.
Dang it. Signed on the wrong line because I was
It's okay. We'll just sign
It's
it.
all right.
signing and you guys can.
I just,
Yeah, just sign.
is all, except this and this is correct.
Those are for in-house,
Okay,
so we'll be fine.
okay.
Abby can make instructions.
You scribbled on mine. Oh, there's back to the right one. Okay.
One of them's right.
A couple of them are.
Is that the first one I did right?
The first one was, and then I paid attention to the rest of it.
Okay, so she said that Amy and Ann both have their own, and each one of them were preparing some, so that's probably why they have different orders.
Yeah.
They just seeing if you work, Andy.
No, I'm not. I am.
Renewal of the contract with Purdue University for the county extension office.
$135,782.
For the services we give, that's a deal.
Make a motion.
I think that motion.
What's that?
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
I know Purdue is going through a lot of changes right now with their funding, so what this is gonna look like in the next year, who knows?
My fingers on fire when I touch something from Purdue.
It's warming your heart. You actually feel the good, it's warm.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Bonds for here.
More bonds.
Mr. Musser.
Yeah, Reardon. I think we just have two, don't we?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
County Extension would like to use the commissioner's van on Tuesday, February 11th to take some 4-H members to the Indiana State House to meet with various government officials.
So happened, I think, last year that coincided with us being down there for AIC. And I was able to go around with them, at least in chambers, get them in to talk to people. So that was pretty cool. Nice to see our youth involved.
Allow for that.
Well, that's going to be, yeah, as long as it didn't conflict with the vein being used for
prosecutor's office.
Prosecutors, yeah.
I guess I would just notify them that that'll be in use by somebody on that date.
But I assume currently they're using their personal vehicles to get the job done. So it'd just be another personal vehicle day for them if they. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I'm gonna say they were asking it for non-county employees, but county employees got to drive it.
She always,
Now,
she always asks if she has non-county employees gonna be in the vehicle with her.
They're gonna be in the vehicle, but
Yeah.
she will be driving.
Correct.
Having non-county employees in the vehicle, it's never been an option. Otherwise, we'd have an issue every time they do plan and BZA taking on-site visits. Those are non-county
Or
employees.
functioning under the county.
Just so the only driver's a county employee, you're okay.
any further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Conflict of interest statement from Councilperson Christina Kress. Discussion? Hearing none.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I brought it up at council. I don't think I brought it up in here yet.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Did I bring it up with the commissioners too?
No.
Council?
Run it up to council.
Yeah, so when uploading these, we realized that there is a new form. And I did look at it again. So for Crest Law Group, she should be able to just sign one form because she has a contract with us. However, if they don't have a contract with us, and I'm going to use Bill's Towing as an example, every time we or he submits a bill, new conflict of interest statement. Every single time. So it's going to become extensive. You're going to see a lot of these unless you can figure something out with.
Can we just get a blanket contract with Bill's Towing for
That's,
service work?
that's your call.
Gotcha. Did it, quoted.
Oh,
Yeah. Allow competitive.
Yeah, because that's a whole other mess with on-call and who's next.
But we use multiple vendors for that anyway.
You can just get, if you do like you do office supplies, you can.
Just put it out to everybody and anybody who wants to submit a contract for. You could make it pretty.
You could have several contracts, what you're saying. You could have a contract with each one, regardless of which one.
Just to provide mechanical and vehicle mechanical services, whatever that amounts to at whatever their current rates are.
it's just detailed.
They could just, you leave it that simply stated.
Right.
Without actually putting numbers in it.
That way they wouldn't have to sign a claim every time. Or conflict of interest or whatever.
Well, not everybody would have to do that.
Bill would.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, the mayor Butler owns the Napa store. Every time somebody comes in and buys or the county buys parts from him, or they even required for the local mechanic does work and buys parts from him. He doesn't file I mean, you'd have to file them almost 2 weeks sometimes.
Yeah, that's what we.
That's what it would
experienced
be.
with this.
You know, but he doesn't. He files one. And maybe he's supposed to. I don't, apparently he's supposed to, but he never has. So.
Well, this is new this year, right?
I would have to go back and look at the exact date that the form was updated. I did not notice it last year though. But it is a completely different form. And those are the two that I thought of, well, actually I thought of 3.
You said we did reach out to the State Board of Accounts in reference to,
On this,
yes.
No, I have not. We pulled the form, but I can't confirm it. Yep.
Confirm that with them. So listen, there's.
Confirm or deny, hopefully it's the,
Let's see what we can do about getting some clarification on that. and then we
The
can make-
three that I thought of was gonna be Christina Kress, for our contract with EMS, Bill McClanahan for Bill's towing, Mike Sevitz for the tree service is the three I thought of. The one that I don't know about would be Christina and Kress Law Group, because her husband is the attorney for the airport. That one also, we may have to have something signed for.
there'd be a contract on that, wouldn't it?
We do, he does have a contract with the airport?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the only ones that I thought of. If you can think of any more, let me know, so I can listen.
Occasionally, if that would
Yeah, I was
ever.
gonna say, I, for no more than pre-work that we do and no more like what you can submit them as. I think.
So the biggest one's gonna be
Yes.
Yeah.
our repair and maintenance for the vehicles.
I mean, there's. Do we send 50 vehicles out there in a year's time? You know, we probably do.
Yeah.
For tires or oil changes or what have you. And we use other vendors too, so.
Well, that's just our own vehicles, plus the ones that the sheriff's department has towed, that would be under that as well.
I think that probably sticks with the vehicle owner.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a request from,
Oh, we still need permission on this. I interrupted you. We still need to approve this one though.
we did,
Did they do it?
Andy.
My bad.
Is there?
I apologize.
You're fine.
Andy, Rick.
A request from Alcoholics Anonymous to use the Health Department conference room.
I assume the health department is okay with it.
Every Tuesday from 5 to 7. Do we have somebody in the building?
Maintenance?
Yes.
So there wouldn't be any additional funding.
They've used it already and it's worked out for them and they just wanted to continue.
All right, so already done the trial run on it.
Is there a
Yes.
motion for that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
A second.
Favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aaron would like permission to work on getting the safety committee work with IPEP on some training.
It's gonna be similar to the one they did at Triumph.
Yeah.
To that extent.
This is not a mock incident. This is actually training on how your employees would react in these situations.
Training them on what to do, how to do.
Yep.
How to keep everybody safe as possible.
And it's at no cost, so she's just looking for permission to put training together.
No, that's pretty tough.
That motion?
Yeah, I thought Andy already made it.
No, I did not.
No, I like that.
I'll second your motion.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
So it's just the approval of one of the Xerox copiers, is that correct?
Yes.
Is this one we approved of?
This is for IT. And it's a rental contract for a short period of time, I believe, until they get their own. Honestly, he talked to me about it, but it's been a while since I talked to him. But it is a short-term rental.
Guess I didn't see where that said it was a short-term rental. That's right.
Well, it says number of monthly payments, it's open as needed.
Okay.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye. I read through this insurance disclaimer. What is it? What is it? You know?
Where you at?
Everest Reinsurance Company excess loss schedule rider.
I haven't talked to Aaron about this yet.
I think I understand what it is, but I'd like explanation.
While you guys are going through, I'll message her real quick and see if she answers. Good.
I did have the executive session.
Motion to
Friday.
approve the executive session from Friday. Rick made a motion, Andy second. All in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Yeah, were you guys, everybody was good with that then?
I haven't read through.
I'm gonna wait until.
Any more discussion on a vehicle?
Well, did you just see what, yeah, on these,
No, I did not.
that's,
You see that? That's a Everest Insurance. So that's the loss schedule rider.
yeah, full-size vans.
He's got a Dodge Caravan. Sheriff
Yeah.
for transports and
So that's
stuff.
the one that died, just wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Caravan, the one I see running around anyway. They're mainly heading south all the time.
So what's he saying? Can he use the
Well, I think he wants that one because he could, all the equipment would fit.
He wants that one, then we just figure out something different. Or
Us and, which, I don't know that that prosecutor needs a brand new one, but find a good used vehicle for him.
he's wanting that because everything will transfer easily and seamlessly and
Right.
you don't have to re-equip a whole different van.
So does that mean he would not need to fund the one we just approved then?
Yeah, that's the one we just approved is a separate one, I thought. For the sheriff?
Yeah. The one that he just broke down, just recently broke down over the weekend, right?
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
So
he hadn't even brought that request to us.
Yeah,
Okay.
That'd eliminate his trouble and we just have to proceed with.
Still need two
so
vehicles.
the two vehicles either way. Either way, we're buying two vehicles, something like,
Well.
right?
Yeah, but then you could decide whether, it's two Tahoes or it's truck and Tahoe or.
I'm saying we could probably, if that van were to work for the sheriff, then we can get something used for the prosecutor. Or the prosecutor.
Yeah.
Yeah, office, and then a new Tahoe for, the county.
Is it something used or something new?
The county,
No, for the prosecutor.
prosecutor be used, good used vehicle. I mean, if they only put 10,000 miles a year on that, I don't see the value right now. It's sitting more, it's driving.
Let's take on.
No, so's ours.
Well,
Yeah.
he's taking it, he's
But
driving.
ours, we can put in the fleet overtime.
Yeah.
And rotate in.
That vehicle's going somewhere every day. It's
Yeah,
either driving back and forth to work or.
right, I guess it's not sitting, but
No,
yeah, it's not putting many miles on it.
No, if they're truly going to put 10,000 on
That's
a year,
take-home vehicle for him.
I'd really like to verify how many miles he puts on a year. You know, whether you really want to
Maybe it's going back
make
and
it a
forth.
used one or.
Right.
Maybe.
So you take it home every day.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
When you take it home every day, if you exert papers once a week, then
sounds like he serves papers or does it on his way home and way in, or what it sounds like.
files. Makes sense to me.
You can see how I'm done.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I see what they're doing.
They're excluding 2 people. Who's that? Coverage?
Well, they're giving you their subsidy, so effectively they're saying primary coverage is with their other insurance. And that to have that type of coverage, you have to have other insurance. And then your insurance will be secondary. So everybody asked if it's not covered unless you have another policy that is a primary policy that covers that procedure. So the one person, Medicare eligible, you'd be secondary. The other person's terminated because they have no insurance. Primary, other than,
Erin did respond to me. She got that from Jeff. Would you like for me to get a hold of Jeff and have him explain it to
She got that
everybody?
from Jeff.
Yeah,
He didn't do our health insurance.
no? So I'm guessing it's not health insurance. Oh, it says Medicare primary though.
this is your insurance policy on your health insurance.
Why would Jeff be involved in that?
Yeah, he wouldn't be.
I even sent her a picture of it.
Take a look at some more explanation.
Yeah.
Did you want Aaron gets back or?
Yeah,
KRJ just said scrap the van ideas, but
Oh,
That's almost better because then the van we have can go to.
that can go there and then we can do these vehicles and,
Yep.
It'd be unusual for a plan your size to have 2 people having that procedure. It's unique.
you said RJ said this won't work?
Yeah, he said they're gonna go ahead and get a new van,
Oh, okay.
which is still probably cheaper than getting another truck.
Maybe. Should be.
Yeah. And get the van, who knows, got.
so we're gonna need to purchase a vehicle from the commissioner's fleet. And I don't think a Silverado's what we want. We probably want a Tahoe.
I think we want a 7-passenger, if not 8-passenger Tahoe.
Those are on the lot, but
Right.
Durango, you have to order.
Yeah. I would want a Tahoe, but that gets us able to.
Yep.
Rotate
That's what.
everybody's running and
Yep.
we can, maybe every 2 years or every year, you can just rotate it out to get them. So we have new Tahoes, not new Tahoes, we're not running around with Tahoes that have 200,000 miles on them.
I think we don't need an additional on that.
Go to council for that.
We could take it out of Q cab.
But we got some other projects, I think we want to get done with that. Great. And if they say no, we can take it.
there. When they get a new van today, apparently.
Apparently, well, that's why he said he'd look at it, go get it.
Go pick it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
The broadband hearing is the next meeting and I just arbitrarily set it at 10:30, thinking nobody was probably.
at our February meeting.
Good, thank you.
What was the date on that, Don? February?
First meeting, it says, was it the 3rd or 4th?
Bill says third.
First Monday's the 3rd.
Yeah, it's gotta be the third because fourth and fifth is
When we're
actually.
going down.
The 3rd.
So do we want to use these or we want to?
I think, I don't know, if we can use these, we can get them. These are they, well, I guess it went to the.
Yeah.
These were from Nikki.
They're still government.
Yeah, I mean, we covered the same
It's
price.
just, whatever trim package is gonna work best for being able to rotate it through.
I was gonna say, and for the use for it, it's gonna be used for the commissioners, it's gonna have to have passenger seating.
Well, I'm talking, there's different trim levels
Yes.
based on your usage.
So
Whether it's gonna
just-
be a police vehicle or wiring comes
These
different.
show non-pursuit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, LT or LTI, I'll just do that.
if we're thinking about passing it down, we need to make sure it's the right trim package to allow that to happen. A bunch of extra work.
Wherever we pass it to the building department, to the health department, to.
Building that, they need their, I think that the smaller format works, because they're out all the time, but the ones, the EMA, corner,
He's got a brand new one though, he won't need one for years.
no, EMA will need one though.
EMA might be the next year.
That's about two, and then,
That EMA needs lights and
right,
So that's where you look at the coroner vehicle and EMA being very similar.
right.
Although Rodney's not gonna put lights or anything on it. Or littering.
He's not putting anything on it. No.
and that has cargo space, that doesn't have the third row seating or any of that.
Well, they just pop out. They were sitting downstairs. Maintenance or the maintenance director. Yeah, taking vehicles, so I think there's opportunities for us to be able to rotate it out. I mean, same situation too, even we're giving this department a van, I don't think a Tahoe, that next time would be.
The other one.
Paramedics, I know they have to line them, but they're, or like I said, the secondary paramedic run or something like that, possibility as well, so. Just gives us flexibility to have that option.
Yeah.
So, you want me to?
That's fine.
Get these numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask for an additional from.
Council in February? All right.
I mean, we can take it from QCAP.
Yeah.
And they may prefer that we do, and that's fine. Just that nothing else that would make them aware that this is an unexpected.
Yeah.
I just need to know for advertising.
So I would say advertise.
Advertise it just to be safe.
Yeah.
You need a dollar amount for that?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Have to exceed
Yeah, 55.
five, it says something, yeah.
Is that the highest one in here?
55,000.
Okay.
Yeah, the highest one's just over 50, but.
That we don't allow, or in
We'll see where that. So that could be an additional out of QCAP or general.
59.50.
Okay.
Do you want me to advertise them both?
They can choose that way.
Did those prices?
Actually, we should probably just have that in the form of a motion for you, shouldn't we?
Please.
Approve. For advertising for the council meeting for new vehicles not to exceed 55,000.
Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
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 Rodney caught up his reports.
Peggy,
Okay.
Peggy did, Peggy caught up Rodney's reports.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, when you're done with your stuff.
What's up?
He does want to go over this or no?
That's what he said Friday, but
So Austin brought forward some quotes for new carpeting, I believe, for the commissioner's office. Don't know if you want that brought up now or not.
Good. What's that?
Probably gonna hold off on that.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off on that.
Hold
So
off
I
on
get more
this.
pricing for
Or the other.
the whole project.
Yep. So hold on that. Just a little FYI then. Regarding, there's been questions on the date that we actually had to be live for the public. And it is effective July 1 of 2025. There were some questions coming up from some of the council members. The other one, let's see, archive copies of the live transmissions. Each archived copy of a live transmission must provide access by the links. We've got that. What is required is the agenda, the minutes, if any, and if there's a memoranda. It does not state that we have to put up our entire packet, which is what council was stating needed to be done. It does not state that.
So we have to have the agenda on one of our screens.
The agenda, but not our title.
Yeah, well, we at least have to have, if we don't put it up there, there has to be links to it, which we do have that because that is put in our county website. So if you don't put them up, we are still in compliance by having it on the website.
Yeah.
So I just,
One page, we just need to remember to scroll through it.
yeah. So either way, it's there.
Everything else there, yeah, like that.
Downside.
Yeah, it's downside.
Or that.
There was some additional information on virtual meetings and how many members of the board have to be sitting if you're attending, if somebody's attending virtually. I can make copies of this and give it out to everybody. They were just, especially on the council, because there's 7 of them, wanting clarification on
There's only a
that.
certain number of meetings that you can actually do virtually per individual.
Correct. So I was going to forward that as well. We'll get you guys a copy of it, as well as this. But I just wanted to clarify that because they brought it up.
Thank you.
The only other thing was, I know Rick is going, I can't remember if you guys told me if you were going to
Yeah, I see. Or
legislative.
yes.
Did you have both of them down also? So, all right, all 3 commissioners, and I think I have 3 council going. And myself, and possibly 1 more from the auditor's office. So you should have, that's a decent turnout for legislative.
Good. Multiple questions to get answered right.
Yeah. That's all I have, I think. Oh, no, Erin responded. Sorry. She was thinking of something else. She was thinking of the judicial center. So she said this is for our stop loss. That's all she said. More details would come from Jody.
That makes more sense.
And that's all I got out of her. She's in the middle of that class, so she couldn't spend a lot of time on it.
If it's nothing pressing, if there's nothing else, we can do something verbally if it's required under a time constraint.
I will reach out to Jody today since she's down there. Is that yours?
Anything else?
That's mine.
You need a motion to say that we've seen our monthly reports or?
Recess.
Recess. Great.
So when's our next water?